Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Holla Black Podcast, where we have a desire to build community and mindset through conversation and results. Please share, like, and subscribe to this podcast and join us weekly as we continue to be brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge to the world, one episode and action at a time. So, the topic of today's podcast is going to be listening and hearing. Who's speaking to your future? Who's speaking to your future? Mark 4:24. And he said unto them, take heed with what measure ye meet. It shall be measured to you, and more shall be given to you. Take heed to what you're hearing. More shall be given to you when you do that. In Romans 10:17, it says, so faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. What you listen to matters. So today in this podcast, in this conversation I would like to have with you guys is, we're going to talk about the what, we're going to talk about the who, and we're going to also speak on the why. We're going to think back on the past situations, past circumstances, but we're also going to talk about our present, right now. But then think forward and discuss future with the what, who, and why. So first things first, what you listen to matters. Like I said, today in this podcast, we're talking about listening, hearing. What are the things that you're listening to, and why does it matter? It matters 100% because you don't understand that what you're listening to will help to grow you as well as develop you. What you're listening to will help to grow you and develop you. Now, if we're talking about educational, if we're talking about motivational, if we're talking about spiritual, think about in the past, your education, the reason why it was so important was for you to know things. You had to hear that. You had to hear a teacher provide that information to you through the vocals, right? But then also, in the present, right? Whatever you're thinking about or whatever you're listening to educate yourselves on becoming the future you, right? Becoming the future you, it allows for you to gain more knowledge, to apply it, and then to share it. That's what we do here at the Holla Black Podcast. I'm your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman. You already know it, right? And that's our goal. That's what we attempt to do each and every single episode. So we want to continue to encourage, right, you all to educate yourselves, to self-develop, to provide the things that you need to do, that you can find yourself right here in the present time, so that the future you will benefit. So as I said, we talked about the past, present, and future when it comes to education, but motivation, right? What motivates you? I'm going to be just a little transparent. Each and every single day, I'm jumping on YouTube. I'm jumping on a podcast. I'm listening to something or someone, even on social media. I'm being very intentional on the things that I listen to because I recognize and I understand that those are the things that are developing me, right? I think about my past. What motivated me to do the right things? It was the people that I listened to. What motivated me to get things done? It was the things that I listened to, the other folks, the stories, the whatever situations or circumstances that I found or heard others go through and overcome. Those were the things that motivated me. Those were the things that motivated me continuously and encouraged me to take action, encouraged me to do the right things, encouraged me to be the person that I am today so that my future person will be as strong and motivating to others. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Please continue to do this. Please continue to remind me and tell me how encouraged you are by my positivity, right? By the vibes that I'm hopefully, providing to each and every single one that is listening out there, that's watching out there, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Spotify or iTunes, whatever it might be, right? Whatever platform you might be listening to or watching. It might even be on social media. I hope that I continue to motivate you, to encourage you to do better, to be better today than we were yesterday. Now, I think about also the what you listen to matters, and I think about spiritual. That's very important and personal for me. I go by the 3 F's, right? Faith, family, and fitness. If you follow me on Instagram, at Ronell Blackman, shameless plug. But if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm always talking about faith, family, and fitness, whether it's a Bible verse, whether it's, talking about being a better father, being a better husband, being a better uh, brother, being a better son, right? Being the very best that I can be in all forms of my life. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. And I encourage you to have that same tenacity, that same intentionality, I should say, towards the lifestyle. Now, when you think about, again, right, what listening to, I'm listening to people that matter. And we'll get into the who in just a second. But like when I say spiritual, I mean, what spiritual leaders are you listening to? I know what I've listened to in the past that have helped me get from circumstance to circumstance through circumstances, right? Through situations. There's been some tough times, some tough moments where I have found my faith leaders to guide me and give the exact word that I needed at that time. That's what it's all about, right? Being able to share, being able to gain that knowledge, being able to take it to the next situation and look back and say, man, I know I got past the last situation, right? Or that last hard time, or that last breakup, or that last whatever, right? What am I listening to feed me to become who I would like to be, right? So when we talk about spiritual, what is encouraging to you? I mean, like if you don't believe in God or Christ or whatever form of religion, you have to believe in something. You have to believe that there did not just that this just not did not just happen, right? There was something that connected my words to you today, right? There was something that connected us that brought us along that same wavelength. And that's what I want to encourage you to seek out. I want to encourage you to seek that out because those are the things that can help you, as I said, get through a lot of those tough situations that you probably had either in the past or that you might be going through right now. You might be going through financial troubles and can't figure out, but having that faith, having the spiritual, the connectedness, right, to believe that there is something new. That's why I always love to provide a few scriptures because to me, it's important to connect the dots. It's important to connect the dots. And faith is definitely one of those that are near dear to my heart and very true to me. But then when I go to who you listen to matters, that really matters. Who you listen to truly, truly matters because they help paint your story, so to speak. They provide the audio, the commentary, the descriptives to your story, right? They're the ones that are speaking, whether it's positive or negative, into your life. Who's speaking into your life? Who's speaking that has you hearing and listening negativity? Right? Like I think about there's for a lot of people and a lot of conversations that I've had, there's been, hey, this family member was super negative, right? Whether it was an aunt or uncle, my parents, right? They might not even known that they were being negative. They were probably trying to warn me or get me out of a situation, but it provided me such a negative way of thinking, even about myself. So I'm again, right? We're visiting past, present, and the future, right? Who am I listening to today? Who's providing input? My friends, my coworkers. Like, think about that. I can think about numerous situations where I've had coworkers or I've worked with people that were super negative. And it brought that same negative energy and negative vibe into whatever meeting, into whatever program that we were developing, into whatever we were trying to convey, right? The resource that we were trying to provide, the training that we were providing, that negativity follows, right? So you have to be sure that who you're listening to matters. Who you're listening to is very intentional on who you want to be. So, who you want to be, who you want to be known as right now, because those are a lot of the things and a lot of the words that you'll continuously share with other people. So, not only the who when it comes to, your coworkers, your professional development, you may have had teachers in the past. Like, I think about this. Shout out to all my teachers out there. Reason why I talk to teachers a lot because I have a direct connection with teachers. I truly believe that our teachers have a very important role in our lives. I think about some of the teachers that told me that I was smart, that told me that I could get it done, that told me that there was nothing that I could not do with my education, with my mind. But then I also think about some teachers that I don't truly believe that they were intentional on this, but I truly recall some teachers that were negative. Oh man, he'll never get it. Oh, he's just slow. Or oh, she just, can't get right. Can't get the grades right. Can't get the information right. Every time they raise their hand and ask a question, is the craziest question that I've ever heard. Right? Put your hand down. I've heard teachers actually say that. Super negative. Like, bring them positive vibes in the classroom. Bring those positive vibes wherever you might be so that you have the opportunity to be an influential piece and a part and grow to that individual's life that you are teaching, right? That you're providing this resource so that they want to learn more, right? We should always be in a position to where we want to learn more. And I truly believe that our teachers have a huge role in providing and making learning fun, making learning a desire, because ultimately they're our first connection with education. So not only the teachers, but I also think about our mentors. Some that you know, some that you don't know. I have plenty of mentors that I've read their book and I call them my mentors because they have directed me throughout life, throughout relationships, throughout situations, throughout circumstances, and have allowed me to do the same for so many others. So when you think about your mentors, right, who are you listening to? Who are you allowing to get into your space, right? There's something that I've just started in, and I would encourage each and every single one of you all to do the same. But I've just started to tell more and more people, hey, if you have any constructive criticism or negative things about what I'm doing, hey, can you just save them? Like, I really don't need them. I really don't need them. I only need positivity. I only need encouragement. In my mind, already have enough negativity. I already have the things that I could work on, the things that I could do better, the things that I can grow and improve in. So those areas, unless I ask, please keep them to yourself. And I would encourage you to share to others to do the same, because if we could start just saying positive things to others, wow, what world would we live in? What opportunities would we get? What encouragement, what confidence building moments would we have if we could just focus on the positivity behind our words and behind our actions and the different things that we do? If we could just provide the world with that sense of positivity versus the negative, oh, you should have did this, you should have said that. I've heard people, you stop saying you keep saying okay, well, I can only get better at it if I continue to practice it. Like, thank you for that, but when I listen to the podcast, when I listen to other people speak, I hear I hear it. It didn't just fly right over my head, right? So think about the fact that, hey, man, when you made this point though, that was pretty interesting. Now that builds conversation. Now that allows us to be intentional. Now that allows us to have a better conversation and to add value into the conversation. We should only be looking to add value. And a lot of times, I think we've been programmed to believe that we only add value if we acknowledge the problem. The problem is there. It is important to acknowledge our own faults, to be accountable. But those things are sometimes naturally seen. And if they're not, then that's where that mentor or that person that you employ, right? That person that you encourage or you ask for that advice because you see them doing things. You ask them, hey, how can I improve in this area? Right? That's the thing I hate. Okay, let me just say this. For all of those out there that are giving advice that haven't been in a situation, please stop. Just stop. Just stop. If you don't have kids and you're trying to give, advice on to a parent of multiple kids, like, hey, I would do this or I would do that, please stop. You haven't earned no stripes, so to speak, right? If you are not an entrepreneur, if you've never ran a business and you've only had a W-2 employment, it's no knock against you, but you should hold back on the commentary that you provide to other entrepreneurs, other folks that are just figuring it out. Like, that's what a lot of my, cohort or a lot of my friends or a lot of my resources, my mentors that are around me, we say it all the time. Hey, man, We figuring this thing out one step at a time. And the thing I don't need is the negativity of others to speak into my mind, to speak into my head, to tell me what I'm not doing. I already know that, or even to discourage me by telling me what I can't do, right? So let's now ask why. Let's ask why, right? Let's ask why. Like, why are you listening, and why have you heard things in the past, in the future, or right now in the present, but then also moving forward to the future? Why do you allow negatives to take away from you? Let's think about that. Why do you allow negatives to take away from you? You allow other people to take away from who you are, who you want to be, right? We know about the past. The past is the past. The past is in the past. We're talking about right now. Why would you allow for anyone in the past, anyone right now, to tell you what you can't do in your future? I need why nots in my life. Like, why would you? Let me go here again. Right? Why allow the future me to be put in the back seat? Like, sometimes when you were little, okay, everybody wanted to sit in the front. Everybody wanted the front seat, right? But when you're told to get in the back seat, hey, get in the back seat. Beat it. Get in the back seat. Wow, that's such a moment of discouraging, right? You want to be in the front of the bus. You want to be in the front seat. You want to be in the front row, right? If you go to any play or fashion show or whatever, that front row, yeah, that's a star-studded event right there. Those are the folks that have paid that money. Those are the folks that are right in front that need to see and be shown to first, right? Because they've been given priority by putting in the first. But when you're putting yourself in the back, why would you put yourself in the back? Why would you allow other people to put you in the back? So I want you to get rid of those negative beliefs, right? So stop allowing for others' shames. Stop allowing for others' embarrassments, others' lack of knowledge, others' lack of education, money, understanding on the subject matter. Stop allowing them, right? Ask yourself why. Why am I allowing them to dictate? Why am I allowing those things to dictate where not only I am mentally, but also where I want to be mentally and physically? You have it. You have the power to do that. So we're talking about the what, the who, and the why. Now, after all of that, I would love to, kind of just close out and finish up with the why not. Let's just close out with asking ourselves, why not? Why not you? Why not have a successful relationship? I know a lot of people out there that want to be married. Just don't know how, don't know how to find the right person, don't know what they did. Well, first off, let's look at the past. Let's look at the things that you haven't done. Let's correct those, right? Let's acknowledge the things that you haven't done right. Let's correct them. And now in the present, let's intentionally look towards success in the relationships that we're in, right? That we're having. When I think about the professional career, okay, so we know in the past we've acted a fool, we've done foolish things, we've made decisions that probably and most likely weren't the best. And a lot of times we could say, oh, it was this coworker that I was with, she or he really didn't like me, and they set me up, or they didn't want me to succeed. Okay, what now? Why not? Why not you? Why not you become the executive? Why not you become the very best employee, the very best teacher, the very best mentor, the very best leader, the best coach, whichever it is? Why not you? The best speaker. Come on, I'm talking to speakers. I'm here. This is Holla Black, Brave Leaders Accountable to Communicating Knowledge. Why not? Why not you? Ask yourself that. Why not you? Like, why not be the very best athlete? To all my athletes out there that's balling, whether you're playing football, basketball, baseball, running track, whatever you're doing, swimming, gymnastics, cheering, whatever you're doing, why not be the best? Why not? Okay, other people have failed. There's a lot of other people that's been successful as well. Why not you? Why not you? What are you listening to? What are you listening to? Why not be the very best executive? the very best CEO to ever run a company. If you're the first CEO, why not set the standard to be the best of what the best looks like? Why not? Why not you? We're talking about listening. We're talking about hearing. And this is going to be a full series as we build up towards the conversation with character that we'll be discussing. But right here, I just wanted to take the time to just really discuss once again, who's speaking to your future? Are you allowing other people to speak to your future, or are you intentional about the future that you would like to have? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this time that was spent sharing on how to be a better listener, but then to focus and be intentional on what you're listening to and what you're hearing. We have a desire to build community and mindset through conversation and results. Please share, like, and subscribe to this podcast and join us weekly as we continue to be brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge, again, to the world, one episode and action at a time. Be better today than you were yesterday. Thanks for joining us. And this is your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman. Holla Black.